Hey guys, welcome back. It is good to see you. Today, we're still working on this old stuff. If you're new here, my name's Rob. I work on these old Fords right now. I've got 3 projects going, a Falcon, a Mustang, and a Ford F100. We're right in the middle of the paint teardown and rebuild on the 1970 fastback Mustang. Check my last videos. We did a quarter panel on this car, a lot of metal work going on, some rust repair, things of that nature. Right now, I'm trying something new. I'm trying this. I don't know. It doesn't even smell like it works. You know what I'm saying? But I've read good things about it. We're going to see if this can improve this and speed up the process of pulling the paint off of this roof of this car. We're getting ready for paint. Let's jump in it. Let's jump into it. Don't jump in it. You probably shouldn't jump in it. Okay, so the directions say just spread it on and wait 30 minutes to scrape a test area. Let's see if we can't get most of this roof covered in this goop. I'm really hoping that this helps and speeds things up because I am tired of pulling all this stuff off my hands. It's taking forever. Okay, we're gonna set up, or let this set up for like 30 minutes and then do a test scrape on it. Now my wife has used this stuff on furniture before, like to strip and refinish furniture. And she told me if you cover it with like cellophane or something, it speeds the process up and makes it a little bit easier. I have some large pieces of cellophane, or maybe I'll get some plastic wrap from the house, I don't know. And then I'll lay over that and maybe that'll work. Okay, so I have it on there and covered for about an hour. And I mean, it works. It's taking the top layer off, like the clear. But it's only doing one layer at a time. So I'm going to scrape all this off, and I think I wasted 30 bucks. I should have just bought the more expensive stuff. But I'm going to scrape it and see if it gets me anywhere. So that didn't work. I went back to the old school. I had it covered up for like an hour, and it like bubbled the clear coat. And I took the clear off of it, scraped it all off, and then the rest of it was like nothing ever touched it. So don't, if you're maybe like, don't waste your time on that. That's not what it's for. So I went back to the old school, using the old heat gun and a scraper, and I mean, here's where I'm at. So I'm gonna work on this a little bit more here, continue sanding. Again, it's got about 50 years worth of mysteries on it. I think this car's been painted a bunch of times, and every time I get into it, I can see, look at this, look at all this, the layer. It's crazy. Anyways, we're taking the kids to the fair here in a little bit, so I'm gonna work on this for a few more hours, and then I'm off to see Bozo. All right, this is what I got so far. This is, I don't know, probably 5 hours worth of work. And, oh, excuse me. Okay, I took a quick break to blow this place out. It is getting just blown apart with sanding dust. And I knew that was going to happen. It's just one of the unfortunate side effects of doing the business here. But anyways, here is the roof. Here's where we're at. It looks pretty good underneath most of the body filler. I do have a dent back here that I'm not going to be able to push out unless I take the headliner off, which I'm not really thinking I'm going to do that. So that may get a high build primer or a body filler and high build primer situation to fix that. And I also have one small dent up here. I mean, it is really small. And still a mystery what's under here. You will not believe how many hours I have in this hood. I mean, I've probably got close to 20 hours getting everything off of here. The scraping kind of worked, sort of. But that citrus strip stuff is a waste of time. It got through the clear and that was it. It's just been 80 grit the whole time, which is fine. I'm taking it slow and I'm kind of getting everything off of here real nice. I'm gonna clean the shop. I need a break. It's getting to the point where like there's no flat surfaces that have not collected junk. So like everything flat has just like piles of crap on it. So I'm going to take a little while and clean this out, and then we're going to get back on here. And what I want to have done today for this video is all the paint stripped off and both the quarter panels done. That's going to include fixing the filler situation here. So clearly, this panel's not coming off. This is how they did it. Not the way I would have done it, but I'm not cutting this panel off. So it's going to get some filler through here. So that's going to happen today. Then yeah, I mean, I'll have a roof and 2 quarters that are done, and then I guess next I'm going to pull the doors off and bring the paint off of the hood and the front fenders. Okay, check this out. I was getting this panel ready, and I noticed there's 2 dents in here, but also check this out. I've got some oil canning here. This metal's been stretched right here. It's been blasted on by something. There's 2 dents right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat shrink it. I'm going to get it red hot, and then so like kind of the focus is here. So I got 2 2 indentations. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the center of this one hot so it's like malleable, and then I'm going to work on the ridge outside. You can't see it, but there's a small ridge, basically the top of this inward dent, and I'm going to put the dolly on the bottom side. I'm going to work this, and what that's going to do, since this metal in here is malleable, it's going to push it together, and it's going to bring all that area around it nice and tight. Let's do it here. Let's check it out. Okay, so there's my dents right here. Let me get my... Definitely tighter. Let's keep working it out. Oh, there it is, huh? Look at that big stretch right there. Okay, so most of this is out now, and just a little bit in here. So I'm gonna heat it up right in this area and see if I can't move that material into that spot. It's definitely tighter, but now I got a low spot. I gotta see if I can work out. It's low, like right through here now. So I'm just gonna work this ridge and hopefully push that material into the warm metal. Coming up a little bit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nice, it's working. Okay, so now I've got the oil canning out of the panel. It doesn't want to oil can anymore. But it's still low right in this area. So I'm gonna, and this is tough too, and more than likely why it happened is when they tacked this in, it sunk this whole thing. I mean, yeah, so the old Bondo bucket here. Anyways, so I just got this little area to work out. I'm gonna put some more heat in right here and continue to work that warp out back towards this panel. And I feel safe doing that because there's a ton of structure over here. So if I can get it all worked out, it should be good to go. You can see it really sink that thing down. It's so funny to watch too, because as I'm hitting it, I can watch that metal. Every time it bounces, it stays up a little bit higher. I'm moving it this way and it's just bump, bump, bump. So right now my ridge looks kind of like this. I can see it from where I'm at. Okay, that actually worked really well. So what I did there is I heated it and then cooled it rapidly. So we got a lot of it out, tightened it up, and then I hit it some more, and I basically put it back in. But what I did right there is, man, that's really close. There's a little bit right here. But what I did is I heated it, hit it from the back, pushed it back up, and then cooled it, and it brought all that stuff together, and it kind of just puts all the tension back in the panel. Got another little low spot right here. Let's try it again. Just a quick thwap. There it is. Oh, you see that? Took a lot of it out. Oh, that's really close, guys. Here, check this out. Can you see that? Let me look. Turn you around so I can see. I don't know if you can see that, but that is super close. I'm gonna work on this a few more minutes and see what I come up with. But you guys, you get the idea. Is you know, the metal's malleable, and if you heat it up, you can push it together, and it'll stay. If you beat on it, it'll stretch. So there's ways to shrink it, make it do the things that you need it to do. All right, guys, I got it pretty good. There's still a little bit of a low spot here, but all the oil canning's out. Now, I'm not an expert metal guy, but this is that's pretty good for me. This is clearly getting some filler anyways. It's minimal, just to take a little bit of the wrinkle out. I could probably work on that some more, but I'm not going to. I think it's fine, and it's totally acceptable for this car and what we're doing here. So anyways, that's a little tidbit on shrinking metal. Just a little heat application, and you can make it do the stuff you need it to do. I got the first 2 layers of body filler in, and you remember what this looked like. It was stitched right here, low spot right there. So it's not terribly thick at all. I'm gonna start working that down with the long block. I already hit it with the cheese grater. Got a lot of that stuff on the floor now. It's funny, like you put a bunch on, and like 90% of it ends up on the floor. That's the game. All right, we're getting there. Got one high spot right here. I may smash that down because everything else is pretty uniform. So I'll tap that in. I got to come back with another final top coat on it, feather in the edges here. So really the part I'm looking for is from the cut line on the quarter replacement inboard to where that dip ends. Everything else needs to come off. It's just extra filler. And we know we had the low spot here from our oil canning that we fixed. So this part's to be expected. 90% of it ends up on the floor. Okay, I just kind of wanted to show you this real quick. I did a nice good blocking on it, and then I sprayed guide coat on it. And I just wanted to show you how to read this guide coat. So for instance right here, here's a little bit of the guide coat left. And what that is showing us is that it is a high spot on either side of that. And it's a low spot here. Now we know it's a high spot on either side because there's filler on both sides. And then the base material is, of course, you know, the steel color here. But so that's what tells us that is indeed a low spot, and what we need to do is focus on these areas next to it here, and then that will bring these areas down level or close to with this. So I need to work this area here and this area here, you know, and continue my crosshatch patterns 245. So I'll sand it this way, and then I'll sand it that way, and that'll bring that in. And then conversely over here, what I'm seeing is I know that is a low spot, but my base material is right here. So what I'm getting is my longboard's hitting the base material and holding high of this spot here. So I know that I cannot continue to work this to bring this down. I do have a little bit of filler up here that's probably not helping me, but I know this is a low spot here that I'm going to have to go back and fill because the base material right here is telling me. So I've got a fill here, and that's a low spot here that I can work this down to bring that out. Same thing here, low spot here that I can bring that out. And then here I've got base material and then my guide coat, so that's gonna have to be brought up, or if I continue to bring this down, it might change that, but I think that's probably just a regular old low spot. And then this is what it should look like here. This area right here is flat. So I've got base material on this side and then base material on this side, a little bit high right here, but the shape of the fender starts to drop over right in this area. So this is what it should look like. And then I've got a big low spot right here where it needs filler, and then a small low spot right here. This was a crowned high spot. It was weld from where they welded this this quarter on. So I tapped it down and now it's a low spot. I'm gonna go back and fill it. So that's just a real quick how-to on how you read this guide coat. All right, it is about 1 a.m. It's time to shut her down. I'm getting somewhere. The bodywork rough in between the quarter and the roof skin, and then back here's coming together real nice. But it's getting cold out here and it's taking forever for this stuff to set up. So like I said, 1 a.m. Let's shut her down. Okay, do you ever see a shiny thing and you're like, I gotta do that? I just found a shiny thing, so I'm gonna show you. Okay, so the car, I went to start, so this is how it started. I wanted to check how much vacuum I'm pulling because I don't like the way the brakes feel. So I started the car up and I noticed that the brake switch or the ignition switch was acting up. I've known that, so I'm going to replace it. I just dropped the column down and I never was happy with how this was mounted, and so I gotta fix that. And then I gotta slide this thing out. This is a mess, the way the 70 did this. This is like a fiberglass collar that goes over here, so I gotta slide that back, and then I gotta replace the switch. Now the problem is, the 1970 ignition switch is only a 1-year deal, and so they sell this switch right here, which this part is the same, but that part is different. 1970 is like, if you can find one, they're like $300. So I have one, it's worn out, and it doesn't reliably start the car. So anyways, I'm gonna have to de-pin this, use the other connector, repin it. It's a whole thing. So that's my shiny thing. I'm still working on the bodywork, but gotta get this. It all needs to happen anyway, so might as well just hit it when I see it, I guess. Okay, I hope you can hear me. The air compressor's going. But I got all the wiring fixed up. I'll show you under the dash here in a minute. It's kind of dark in here, but I got all the wiring fixed up. I remounted and rewired the tack, and all the lights work and everything's good. Here, let's... Well, that was a poor example, but works great. It's got like one dead cylinder right now. It's not dead. If I let it run long enough, it comes back online. I think it's a fouled plug because it's way rich also right now. I gotta rejet it, but check this out. So all my lights work. You can barely see them. Those are really kind of crappy. But anyways, like all that dims and everything, those are working. Those down there are working. So yeah, everything in here is done. And look, no wires hanging down. I don't even know if you can see that, but there's no wires hanging down. All right, guys, we are trucking right along, but I'm going to call that a video for this one. We're getting a lot done here. And the next big step for this car is to have it in primer. I've still got some paint to strip off the hood. You can see it over there, and the fenders back over there. But the big next milestone for this car is going to be in primer. So like I always say, you guys, thanks so much for coming around. I appreciate your effort and support in watching these videos and engaging with me in the comments. It means a lot. It's a lot of fun for me. It keeps me on track to continue the pace with these builds, and again, that means the world to me. If you like what I'm doing here, consider dropping a comment or subscribing to the videos so you don't miss anything. Again, 3 projects going: the Falcon, the Mustang, the F100. Check out one of these other videos. They may be something that you're into as well. We'll see you soon.